We're excited about the day. We're excited about our Hurricane Sandy relief project that we have here at Oceanside High School, and it's called LAX Loves Long Island. We welcome everybody here. We're excited to give you information about the day. We have a great panel of people here today that will present their perspective and what roles they have for the day's event scheduled for April 13th, Saturday, April 13th. So the first person I'd like to introduce is Dr. Brown, Superintendent of Schools.
Sure. When the hurricane hit on October 29th, I live in Oceanside, and the water was coming into my house and came into my basement, and it came into my first floor. And it was certainly, I'm here 30 years in the same house, and nothing like that has ever happened before. And it took me 3.5 months to get back to live in Oceanside. So I experienced firsthand what many people in Oceanside experienced. On October 30th, I toured our schools and saw the damage at School 9 and School 8 and School 4. At least that was where the major damage was. And we've been spending our time restoring those schools, and we're not finished yet. And the community itself, we had 600 students when we opened school 2 weeks later. 600 students that were displaced, and they were attending our schools but not living in Oceanside anymore. So they were coming from other communities back to our schools. As of today, we're down to about 200 students that are still attending school but not living in Oceanside. So there's a lot of people out there with a lot of needs, and anything we could do to help them is going to be greatly appreciated. Lacrosse is a great vehicle for that. I happen to be, personally, my son was Oceanside High School all-county lacrosse player, and went to college. He was all Eastern. So certainly the combination of lacrosse and helping Sandy victims touches me very closely. And I look forward to a successful event. And I'd like to thank Mr. Chiazza and Mr. Luisi and everybody else who put this together. I think it's terrific.
Thank you. The next speaker was Mr. Secord, principal of Oceanside High School, and he'd like to say a couple words about the event. Mr. Secord.
Thank you, Mr. Chiazza. Oceanside really showed its strength in the days after the storm. And what we quickly realized, it wasn't just going to be days where we needed assistance, it's going to be months, perhaps years. So to see that people are still working incredibly hard to support those that were impacted, it's very heartwarming for us. And an event such as this will just underscore the strength that is within this community, and hopefully be a great time for all the families that participate. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to point out a couple of people that have been instrumental in putting this program together. Mr. Jeff Reisner, our athletic director, who's made the entire facility available to us and helping us coordinate a big day. A lot of logistics involved, and we could not have the day without his cooperation and him making the resources available to us. So thank you, Mr. Reisner, a big part of this team project here. We also have Ms. Sandy Scholl, the Board of Education, President of the Board of Education at Oceanside Schools. We want to thank her for her cooperation. Sue Murphy, who is out in the audience over there, I just want to thank her because she's the coordinator of our Oceanside Community Services. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Ken Dwyer, the head women's lacrosse coach, who would like to speak. Ken.
Thank you. When you think Long Island, obviously you think of the parks and the beaches and the parkways and whatnot, but you really should also think lacrosse. Long Island is really a hotbed of lacrosse. We can see that there's evidence with that with the enormous number of Long Islanders who make up the college rosters, men and women across the country. More evidence, 7 of the top 25 high school girls teams are from Long Island in the entire country. So we know that Long Island definitely loves lacrosse, but what I know is that lacrosse also loves Long Island. And that was a phrase that was coined by my wife, LAX loves Long Island, and that's our slogan for this event. I just want to give you a brief background of how this day came about. Obviously it came about because of the great need of Hurricane Sandy and efforts of the people at this table. But it really started years ago. It starts with the district that is committed to athletics with Dr. Brown and Mr. Reisner, the athletic director. And it starts with an administration that really puts an emphasis on providing opportunities for athletes after high school. And we had a goal several years ago to increase the number of athletes who are participating in college athletics, and we've been successful. For example, over 60 or almost 60% of the girls who play varsity lacrosse go on to play in college. But with the help of our director of, or advisor to student, college-bound student athletes, Mr. Luisi, we want to do more, okay? We're not satisfied with where we're at, we want to do more. So Mr. Luisi arranged for the Columbia lacrosse coach, Coach Gittleman Jackson, to come to Oceanside High School this past fall. And after her presentation about the process of getting athletes into college, we sat down, Mr. Piazza, Mr. Luisi, and myself, and the coach, and we said, why don't you come play a game in Oceanside? And she jumped at that opportunity. She was very eager. And therefore, we are going to be hosting Columbia University women's lacrosse team against Yale University. This is a Division I game, an Ivy League conference game. We're very fortunate that Columbia was generous enough to allow us to host such an event. We then contacted our neighbors at Malloy College, Coach Completano. Malloy also has an assistant coach, Jackie Hughes, Oceanside High School class of 2008. Their captain, Caitlin Kelly, Oceanside High School class of 2009, and Mr. Piazza's daughter, part of the team. And so they jumped at the opportunity, so we'll be hosting a Division II game, Malloy College versus Southern New Hampshire University. So we knew it was a great lacrosse day, okay? We have several players in the room. They're going to have an opportunity to see great lacrosse. The schools are going to have an opportunity to give back to their community and also to showcase their talents. And it's a celebration of Long Island lacrosse. Out of those 4 teams, 40 of the players are from Long Island. So we have a great lacrosse day, but we knew there's also needs in the community. And it's at that time we reached out to Mr. Transom through the Board of Ed and also Oceanside Community Service, Sue Murphy with Oceanside Community Service, Long Island Harvest, and several other groups. And we wanted to make this a very special day, a day where it's evident that LAX loves Long Island, something I've known all along, but has really been demonstrated by the commitment to this event. And we will hear more about the details of the event from some of the other speakers. Thank you very much.
You can see the excitement from Coach here. We're all excited about the game of lacrosse, but it's a merging of lacrosse and community for a great cause. I just want to identify and welcome Sergeant Valderrama and his assistant here. They're going to be participating in the day. They'll have a booth here, and prior to the Columbia Yale game, we'll have the honor guard here. So thank you for the participation from that group. The next person I'd like to introduce is Mr. Transon, who is the Director of Community Services and also a Board of Education member. Mr. Transon.
I guess I can sit here.
You're sure.
Okay. This is a wonderful event. Oceanside Community Service jumped on this because we've been in the trenches since day one, helping the people of Oceanside recover from Hurricane Sandy. We don't like to quip too much because Sandy was devastated also, my cohort in crime on the school board. Oceanside Community Service has been around since 1948. It's been helping the citizens of Oceanside when they're in time of need, crisis, in family life, or crisis in the town. This was no different. We recognized right from the beginning that this was a very, very unusual event for Oceanside, that we had to come together, and we started to mobilize the day one after the hurricane. The school got together with Long Island Cares and with Island Harvest. We were able to salvage and give them our freezer full of food. We had 600 cases of meat. We didn't lose anything, and it went to a good cause. We were able to mobilize and fix our schools and coordinate because we rationed our gasoline stores. The wonderful high school staff and the elementary staff came to Oceanside High School and opened a warming center, exclusive from the Red Cross and from the Office of Emergency Management. What they didn't realize was Oceanside couldn't get to disaster relief. They were stuck. There was no cars and no gas. We fed those people. We went door to door. We cooked each day and delivered hot meals for, I think it was 7 nights in a row. From that time on, when the disaster started to ebb from people's minds, we received a lot of money, and we took the money and pooled it, and we decided, without having to make any judgments, to distribute equally amongst the peoples that were impacted a grant, a small stipend of our love and appreciation that they live in our town, that we're thinking of them. We are in the midst right now of still delivering those grants, but funds are running short. And this is a great way for us to raise funds. And we have a great day planned on April 13th. We have the 2 lacrosse games. I'll let the other people here tell what they're going to do, but Oceanside Community Service is going to cook food, and the food will be free. We're just asking for a donation, however big or small, to help us continue to help those recover.
Thank you. And it's all about reaching out. And one of the things we did, and try to make it a special day, we want to provide entertainment for the community. And I reached out to one of Long Island's top entertainment bands, Mystic, and Mr. Sam Bell is over there. And I want to thank him. He's coming, his group is coming to entertain. And when I spoke to both him and his management, they said, Oceanside is a big part of us. We love to participate. What can we do for you? We'll be there. And they didn't hesitate. So we want to thank Mystic for your coming that day and being part of our special event.
Thank you, Anthony. Thanks for having us. Oceanside has supported my band for many years, and we've played in Oceanside in various different venues, and we're happy to do it. We're happy to give back. I have some friends in Oceanside, and I just want to say thank you guys for having us, and we're going to provide some good entertainment that day, and we'll have a good time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Coach Dwyer previously had mentioned how this day came to being, and a very important part of today's event, the creation of it, is Mr. Frank Luisi. I'm going to ask him to come up to talk briefly about, from his perspective, how this developed and what it means to athletes here, student athletes, and Oceanside High School and the community. Mr. Luisi.
First, we really be in a humble way to say we're most indebted to Dr. Brown for his support of this from the first afternoon that Mr. Dwyer, Mr. Kaz, and myself chatted about this. He was on board. You got to go do that. You got to go. And also, great thanks to Sue Murphy and Bob Transom for all your support, for Ken, myself, and Tony to keep working hard for this. And a number of people who are supporting us along the way, such as Mr. Gray from Oceanside Credit Union, and your support in financial and otherwise. So, as Ms. Kaz said, this was an idea that we had from that meeting, which was really born of Mr. Reisner's encouragement for us to reach out to colleges, and also Mr. Sloan to have a PDP conference. And we met that afternoon, in a very wonderful meeting, the head coach from Columbia, Ms. Liz Kittleman-Jackson, and she, as Coach White said, she wanted to get on board to help us, and we planned to have this game for the purpose of having, like some of the girls are here today, to meet some of the wonderful kids and see wonderful execution of the game of lacrosse and the high level of play and the spirit of an Ivy League lacrosse game, and then also Southern New Hampshire and Malloy. And we were hoping this would be a wonderful day for the girls and the guys too. They can come and see high level college lacrosse. So that's where we came from, and then Mr. Kaz, Mr. Dwyer, and Ms. Murphy all convinced me too, more than ever, that we have to all work hard to make this day special, not only to raise money, but to remember and help others. Also, would like to say special thanks to Suzanne Dwyer, Ken's wife, a great job she's done to help us, and Sue Murphy. Thank you, Sue, for all you've done, and also Audrey Miller, Ms. Miller, thank you so much for getting this, helping us have this venue to do great things with it. And a special thanks to Ken Dwyer for his ideas, his concepts, his insight to help make not only lacrosse, but all of the young people see a wonderful day happen. And special thanks to Mr. Kazza for setting up this conference and all the work you've done to do this. Tony did a great job. So let's keep going and keep strong faith, because we're gonna help a lot of people that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luis. Just so people know who Mr. Luis is, he's the coordinator to assist athletes in getting into college. He's a tremendous asset, that a very unique, proactive program we have here at Oceanside to help athletes get into colleges of their choice. So we're combining excellent athletics with excellent academics, and great things happening. This event is about community. It's how people of Oceanside have bonded together to help each other. And a person in this community who really best embodies someone of that quality that is special is Mr. Garay, who's representing Oceanside Christopher Bank. And I'm going to call him up here to talk about his involvement in the event. Is a real special person who always, when Oceanside needs something, he's one of the first gentlemen to step forward to assist the community, the school, and we want to thank him and welcome and have him say a couple words. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Chiazza. As one of the people up here sitting here that's not officially part of the Oceanside School District, the first thing I want to do is, as a community representative, is to really acknowledge and thank you for the leadership the school district showed after Superstorm Sandy. From the school board down to the administration, and what happened at the schools here was extraordinary, what they did. And from the community, I thank all of you for your efforts. Oceanside Christopher, we were in a part of town that we lost one day. We lost one day of business. We opened up. We were in the part of town that had no power for 12 days. We were running off a backup generator we had installed years ago, and it became a hub for the community. When we opened that morning, we had coffee, cookies, and cash. And cash was the most important one. To give out coffee and cookies was a much bigger deal. But just like the school here, the school district, we live with this storm every day since. We're in the process now of rebuilding lives. Some things will never be the way they were. It's going to be a long effort, and Oceanside Christopher Federal Credit Union is just proud to be part of this event that day. Thank you.
Coach White.
Just a little bit more detail about the day. Our major focus, of course, is the 2 lacrosse games, which will take place again. This is April 13th. The first game being at 11 a.m. Lloyd versus Southern New Hampshire. At 3 p.m. will be Columbia versus Yale. Again, the Mystic will be performing between games. We'll have another band performing as well, Permission to Launch. So we'll have 2 live bands performing between the games. We're also hosting a youth lacrosse clinic open to any girl who's interested in lacrosse from wherever she comes from, not just from Oceanside, but open to anybody who's interested in lacrosse for girls in grades 1 through 6. We'll be hosting a kids corner for maybe some of the younger children who attend with parents or siblings, and have different activities that the younger kids will find fun, face painting and such. We'll be having raffles. We've had some generous donations that will be basket raffles. And also U.S. Lacrosse, the national organization behind the lacrosse, U.S. Lacrosse, has donated an autographed team jersey from Team USA, the gold medal winners last summer. It's autographed by all the women that were on the team, and so that will be another major part of the raffle. So we really have lots of events, and of course the barbecue that was mentioned before. So we have lots of events that are going on aside from the lacrosse game to really make it a special day.
I just want to thank everybody for coming this morning. Again, Sergeant Valderrama, I want to thank you. If anybody would like to speak individually as we break, please speak to him. Donna Kraus, our press representative. Donna, I want to thank you for all your hard work communicating and reaching out, helping us coordinate this event. And put it on your calendar, Saturday, April 13th, a full day of lots of events for the entire family. Please be there, help support our event, and once again, thank you. The players are going to remain here for the media. If you'd like to interview them and get their perspective on the day, you're more than welcome to do that. Once again, thank you for everybody coming, and we'll see you April 13th.
Thank you.